The knife felt heavier than it should. Elena Bourne's fingers trembled around the handle as she stared at the woman across the table, the woman wearing her necklace. The diamond pendant her husband had given her on their first anniversary, the one she'd lost 3 months ago. Hey, beautiful souls! Welcome back to the channel. Before we dive into this absolutely jaw-dropping story, drop a comment below and tell me where you're watching from. I love connecting with you all. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that button because, trust me, you don't want to miss what happens next. Now, let's get into it. The restaurant's ambient lighting cast shadows across the mystery woman's face, but Elena could see enough. High cheekbones, perfect posture. That smile, the one that said she knew exactly what she was doing here. "Elena, this is Vivian Truman," her husband Daniel said, his voice too casual, too practiced. "She's the new creative director at the firm." Vivian extended a manicured hand across the white tablecloth. "I've heard so much about you." Elena's 6-month pregnant belly pressed against the table edge as she reached forward, her palm already sweating. The handshake lasted exactly 1 second too long. Vivian's grip was firm, possessive almost, and when their eyes met, Elena saw something that made her blood run cold. Recognition. Not the polite kind you give a colleague's spouse, the intimate kind. "Daniel speaks so highly of you," Vivian continued, settling back into her chair with the comfort of someone who belonged there. "Congratulations on the baby." "Your first?" "Yes." The word came out strangled. Elena picked up her water glass with both hands to keep them steady. Daniel reached over and squeezed her shoulder. His touch, once comforting, now felt like a brand. "We're very excited. It's been a journey." Journey. They'd tried for 3 years. 3 years of treatments, disappointments, and tears Elena had cried alone because Daniel was always at the office, always working late, always with— The necklace caught the light again. "That's a beautiful pendant," Elena heard herself say. Her voice sounded distant, like it belonged to someone else, someone braver. "Where did you get it?" Vivian's hand flew to her throat, fingers grazing the diamonds. For just a moment, less than a heartbeat, her eyes flicked to Daniel. "Oh, this! It was a gift! From someone special." The restaurant noise faded. The clinking glasses, the murmured conversations, the soft jazz playing overhead. All of it disappeared until there was only the thunder of Elena's pulse in her ears. Daniel cleared his throat. "Should we order? I'm starving." But Elena wasn't looking at the menu. She was looking at Vivian's left hand, now resting on the table. 4th finger, a thin tan line where a ring had recently been removed. "Actually," Vivian said, leaning forward with a smile that didn't reach her eyes, "there's something I think we should discuss." She paused, letting the moment stretch thin and dangerous. "About the merger." Merger? The word hung in the air like poison. Elena's hand moved to her belly, protective, instinctive. The baby kicked, one sharp jab against her palm, and in that moment, feeling her child move inside her while sitting across from the woman wearing her necklace, Elena Bourne made a decision. She picked up her knife again. "Tell me," she said softly, her eyes never leaving Vivian's face. "What exactly are we merging?" Elena had always been the good girl, the one who followed rules, believed in fairy tales, and thought love conquered all. Her mother used to say she had a gentle soul, too gentle for this world. Daniel had called it her most beautiful quality on their wedding day. Now she wondered if he'd meant weakness. "The Carmichael acquisition," Daniel said quickly. Too quickly. "Vivian's heading the creative strategy. It's a huge account. Could make or break the firm." Elena watched him fidget with his wedding ring, spinning it around his finger. 9 years of marriage, and she'd memorized every tell. The ring spin meant he was lying. The slight twitch of his jaw meant he was nervous. The way he wouldn't meet her eyes meant he was guilty. "How long have you two been working together?" Elena asked, keeping her voice steady. 6 months, Vivian answered before Daniel could. "Your husband is quite dedicated. Some nights we don't leave the office until midnight." 6 months. The necklace had gone missing 4 months ago. Elena had searched everywhere: the bedroom, the car, her jewelry box. Daniel had helped her look, had held her when she cried over losing something so sentimental. Had he watched her grieve while knowing exactly where it was? Before anyone could speak, Daniel's phone buzzed. He glanced at the screen, and Elena saw his face go pale. "I need to take this." "Excuse me." He practically ran toward the restaurant's exit, leaving Elena alone with the woman who'd been sleeping with her husband. The silence stretched between them like a blade. "You seem like a lovely person," Vivian said finally, her voice dropping to barely above a whisper. "That's what makes this so difficult." Elena's heart hammered. "Makes what difficult?" "Elena, I need you to listen very carefully." Vivian leaned across the table, and for the first time, Elena saw something unexpected in her eyes. Not triumph, not malice, fear. "Your husband—" Vivian started, then stopped. Her gaze darted toward the exit where Daniel had disappeared. "He's not who you think he is? And that baby you're carrying?" She reached across the table, her hand hovering over Elena's. "It's in terrible danger." The world tilted. "What are you talking about?" Elena pulled her hand back, cradling her belly protectively. "I can't explain here, but you need to. Everything okay, ladies?" Daniel appeared beside the table, all charm and easy smiles. But Elena saw the warning in his eyes as he looked at Vivian. "Sorry about that. Crisis averted." Vivian sat back, her expression smoothing into pleasant neutrality. "Actually, Daniel, I was just telling Elena about our trip to Chicago next month. For the Carmichael pitch." "Right. The pitch." Daniel's jaw twitched. Elena looked between them, her husband and his mistress, and realized with crystal clarity that she didn't know either of them at all. And whatever was really happening here, it was so much worse than an affair. The waiter arrived with their appetizers, but Elena couldn't eat. Her mind raced through the last 6 months, Daniel's late nights, the mysterious phone calls, the way he'd become obsessed with her prenatal appointments, always asking about dates and test results. "I'm not feeling well," Elena said, pushing back from the table. "I think I need some air." Daniel stood immediately. "I'll come with you." "No." The word came out sharper than she intended. "Stay. Finish your meeting. I'll just be in the restroom." She didn't wait for his response. Her legs felt unsteady as she navigated through the restaurant, past couples laughing over wine, past families celebrating birthdays. Normal people living normal lives. The bathroom was empty, thank God. Elena gripped the marble sink, staring at her reflection. Pale skin, dark circles under her eyes. When had she started looking so tired, so defeated? The door opened behind her. "Vivian." "You followed me," Elena whispered. "We only have a minute before he comes looking." Vivian reached into her purse and pulled out a business card, blank except for a phone number scrawled in pen. "Call this number tomorrow, noon exactly. Don't use your cell phone. Use a payphone or a burner." "Why would I?" "Because your husband isn't just cheating on you, Elena. He's planning something." Vivian's hands were shaking now, her polished facade cracking. "I thought I was helping him with business. I thought—" God, I was so stupid. But then I found the insurance policy." Elena's blood went ice cold. "What insurance policy?" "The one he took out on you 3 months ago. $2 million. Vivian grabbed Elena's shoulders, her perfectly manicured nails digging in. "The one that pays double if you die in an accident. And guess what happens in 6 weeks?" Elena couldn't breathe. "What?" "You're due. And Daniel's been very specific about wanting you to deliver at that private clinic upstate. The one with no security cameras. The one owned by his college roommate." Vivian released her, stepping back. "I didn't know. I swear I didn't know until last week. But when I tried to end things, he threatened me, said he'd destroy my career, my life, said I was already an accomplice." The bathroom door burst open. Daniel stood there, his expression dark. "Elena, sweetheart, you've been gone a while. I was worried." But he wasn't looking at Elena. He was looking at Vivian, and the promise of violence in his eyes was unmistakable. "Just girl talk," Vivian said lightly, moving toward the door. "You know how it is." Daniel caught her arm as she passed. "I'm sure Elena's ready to go home now. She needs her rest. For the baby." The way he said it, "for the baby," made Elena's skin crawl. She looked down at her hand. The business card was tucked into her palm, Vivian's lifeline burning like a secret. And Elena realized her husband was trying to kill her. The car ride home was suffocating. Daniel drove with one hand on the wheel, the other resting possessively on Elena's thigh. He hummed along to the radio, some love song about forever, as if they hadn't just sat across from his mistress, as if Elena's entire world hadn't just collapsed. "Vivian seems nice," Elena ventured, testing the waters. His hand tightened on her leg. "She's professional, good at her job." A pause. "What did you two talk about in the bathroom?" "Nothing. Baby stuff. She asked about my due date." "And what did you tell her?" The question was too sharp, too interested. Elena forced a smile. "December 20th, like always." Daniel relaxed slightly. "Good, that's good." When they pulled into their driveway, Elena noticed something she'd never paid attention to before: the security cameras. 4 of them, positioned at every angle of their house. When had those been installed? Inside, Daniel was suddenly attentive. He helped her with her coat, brought her tea, fluffed the pillows on the couch. "You should rest. Big day tomorrow. Your appointment with Dr. Reeves." Dr. Reeves, Daniel's college roommate, the one who owned the private clinic upstate. "Actually, I was thinking of switching doctors," Elena said carefully. "Maybe someone closer to home. The drive to the clinic is getting difficult." Daniel's smile didn't waver, but something flickered behind his eyes. "We've been through this, sweetheart. Reeves is the best. He specializes in high-risk pregnancies. I'm not high risk. Not yet." He kissed her forehead. "But at your age, with your history of complications, we can't be too careful. I couldn't live with myself if something happened to you or the baby." "I couldn't live with myself. But $2 million would certainly help." That night, Elena pretended to sleep. She lay perfectly still as Daniel got up at 2 a.m., his footsteps creaking down the hallway to his office. Through half-closed eyes, she watched him shut the door. 20 minutes later, she followed. The office door was locked. Strange, since it never had been before. But Elena had been married to this man for 9 years. She knew where he hid things. The spare key was taped under the hallway table, exactly where it had always been. Her hands shook as she unlocked the door. Daniel's laptop sat open on his desk, screen glowing in the darkness, email after email to Dr. Reeves, to someone named J. Mitchell at a pharmaceutical company, to Vivian. Elena clicked on the most recent message to Reeves, dated yesterday. Everything's set for December 20th. The compound you recommended should be undetectable. Make it look like eclampsia, completely natural. V is becoming a problem. May need to handle both situations simultaneously. Elena's vision blurred. She stumbled backward, her hip hitting the desk. A photo frame fell, glass shattering on the hardwood floor. The sound echoed through the silent house like a gunshot. Upstairs, she heard Daniel's footsteps, moving fast, coming for her. Elena ran, not toward the front door. Daniel would catch her there. Instead, she darted into the kitchen, grabbed her car keys from the counter, and burst through the garage door. Her pregnant belly made her clumsy, but adrenaline sharpened everything. She was in the car, engine roaring to life, when Daniel appeared in the garage doorway. "Elena, stop!" His voice was different now. No more gentle husband. This was the voice of a man who'd been caught. "Where are you going? It's 3 a.m. She threw the car into reverse, tires squealing. The last thing she saw in the rearview mirror was Daniel's face, not panicked or worried, calculating. Elena drove aimlessly for an hour, her mind spinning. She couldn't go to the police. What proof did she have? An email that could be explained away? A mistress's warning? She couldn't even access their bank accounts. Daniel controlled everything. When had she become so dependent, so trapped? At dawn, she found herself outside a 24-hour pharmacy. Inside, she bought a burner phone with cash from her emergency stash, money she'd been secretly saving from grocery shopping. $40 in crumpled bills that suddenly felt like freedom. At exactly noon, she called the number Vivian had given her. "Thank God," Vivian answered immediately. "I was afraid you wouldn't call." "Tell me everything." "Not over the phone. Meet me at Riverside Park, north entrance. 1 hour. And Elena?" Vivian's voice cracked. "Bring everything you can carry. You can't go back to that house." The park was crowded with joggers and dog walkers. Vivian sat on a bench, oversized sunglasses hiding her face. She looked nothing like the polished woman from the restaurant. Her hair was pulled back, no makeup, wearing jeans and a hoodie. "I'm being followed," Vivian said without preamble. "Daniel hired someone. I saw the car outside my apartment this morning." Elena sat down, her legs giving out. "Start from the beginning." 6 months ago, Daniel approached me at a conference. Charming, handsome, said his wife didn't understand him. The usual lines. I fell for it. Vivian's laugh was bitter. But it wasn't about sex. He needed me for something else. Access to my company's database, information on high-net-worth individuals seeking discreet medical procedures. I don't understand. Your husband isn't just an investment banker, Elena. He's a broker. He connects desperate people with doctors willing to fake deaths for insurance money. Dr. Reeves runs the operation. Vivian pulled out her phone, showed Elena a series of photos. These are the clients, 15 women in the last 3 years, all pregnant, all supposedly died from pregnancy complications at Reeves's clinic. Elena's hands went to her belly. They're not actually dead. No, they're alive, living under new identities with their babies. The husbands collect the insurance, Reeves gets his cut, and Daniel brokers the whole thing. Vivian's eyes filled with tears. Except you were never supposed to know. You were supposed to actually die. The world stopped spinning. Daniel's not helping these women, Elena whispered. He's killing them and keeping their babies. Vivian nodded. And selling them to the highest bidder. Elena's phone, the old one, buzzed in her purse. 17 missed calls from Daniel. 23 texts ranging from concerned, "Where are you? I'm worried sick," to threatening, "You're making a mistake. Come home now." "He knows you're gone," Vivian said, watching Elena's face. "Which means we're both dead if we don't disappear. Today. I need proof. Real proof. Something the police can't ignore. There is no proof. Daniel's too smart. Everything's encrypted. Offshore accounts. Shell companies." Vivian stood, pacing. "I tried to get evidence. That's why I'm in this mess. He caught me copying files, told me if I didn't play along, he'd frame me for the whole operation, make it look like I was recruiting the women." Elena's mind raced. The other women, the ones who died. If we could find one of them. They're ghosts, new identities, new countries. Reeves handles all of it. Vivian grabbed Elena's shoulders. "Listen to me. We run or we die. Those are the only options." But Elena was already shaking her head. "I have nothing. No money, no passport he doesn't control. He's been isolating me for months. I see that now. My friends, my family. He drove them all away with excuses and manipulation." Her phone buzzed again. This time, a photo message. Elena's mother, sitting in her living room. A man's hand, visible in the frame, holding something just out of view. The text read, "Come home, or Mom has an accident. You have 2 hours." Elena's blood turned to ice. Oh, God, he has my mother." "It's a bluff," Vivian said, but her voice wavered. Another photo, closer. The man's hand, now clearly holding a knife near her mother's throat. 1 hour and 55 minutes. Elena couldn't breathe. The baby kicked frantically as if sensing her panic. "I have to go back. I have to—" "If you go back, he kills you both. Tonight. Makes it look like a home invasion gone wrong." Vivian's face was pale. "Elena, I've seen what he's capable of. Last year, a woman named Sarah tried to back out of the arrangement. They found her car at the bottom of a ravine. Daniel sent flowers to the funeral." Elena's hands shook so violently she nearly dropped the phone. "Then what do I do? Let him kill my mother?" "We call his bluff. We go to the FBI. "With what evidence? You just said there is none." "There's one thing Daniel didn't count on," Vivian said quietly. "Me? I'll testify. I'll tell them everything. They'll arrest you, too." "I know." Vivian's eyes were steady now, resolved. "But maybe that's how this ends. Maybe I finally do something right." Elena looked down at her phone. Another message. 1 hour and 40 minutes. "Clock's ticking, sweetheart. Choose wisely." She thought of her mother, her unborn child, the 15 women before her who'd trusted the wrong man. And she realized something that made her blood run cold. She couldn't save everyone. She could barely save herself. Elena stared at the photo of her mother, and something inside her shifted. Not broke, hardened. She'd spent 9 years being the good wife, the trusting one, the weak one. But carrying this baby had changed her on a cellular level. Mothers didn't break. They became dangerous. "He's not at my mother's house," Elena said slowly, her mind suddenly crystal clear. "He can't be. He's too smart to do his own dirty work." Vivian frowned. "What are you saying?" "I'm saying Daniel's weakness is his ego. He thinks I'm helpless, that I'll come running home, crying and apologizing." Elena stood up, her jaw set. "But what if we give him exactly what he wants?" "That's suicide." "No, it's strategy." Elena pulled out the burner phone. "You said Reeves runs the operation. That means he keeps records. He has to, for the fake death certificates. The birth records, everything. Medical facilities have to maintain files, even illegal ones. Those files are locked down, encrypted. But they exist, in his clinic, and I have an appointment there tomorrow." Elena's eyes blazed. "What if I keep that appointment?" Vivian shook her head. "You'll never make it out alive. Not alone, but what if the FBI is already there?" Elena was pacing now, her mind working faster than it had in years. "You testify. Give them enough to get a warrant. They raid the clinic tomorrow during my appointment. Catch Daniel and Reeves in the act." "That's insane. The timing alone is perfect. Daniel wants me at that clinic. He's expecting me to show up scared and compliant. Instead, I show up with federal agents." Elena grabbed Vivian's hands. "You said you wanted to do something right. This is it." For the first time, hope flickered across Vivian's face. "And your mother?" Elena pulled out her regular phone and dialed. Her mother answered on the first ring. "Mom, don't react. Just listen. Is there a man in your house right now?" "What?" "Sweetie, no, I'm at my book club. Is everything okay?" The relief nearly brought Elena to her knees. "It's an old photo. Daniel's playing mind games." "That bastard," Vivian breathed. Elena felt something fierce and primal rise up inside her. Daniel had underestimated her, thought she'd crumble, thought she'd sacrifice herself to save others. He'd forgotten that she was about to become a mother, and mothers were the most dangerous creatures on earth. "Call your FBI contact," Elena said to Vivian. "Tell them everything. I'll wear a wire tomorrow. Get Reeves and Daniel on tape discussing the murders. Elena, if something goes wrong, then I go down fighting." Elena placed her hand on her belly, felt her daughter kick strong and sure. "This baby deserves a mother who's brave, not one who runs." Vivian pulled out her phone, fingers hovering over the screen. "Once we do this, there's no going back." Elena thought of the 15 women before her, the babies stolen, the lives destroyed. "Good," she said. "I'm done going back." The FBI agent's name was Sarah Chen, and she had eyes that had seen too much. "You understand the risk?" Agent Chen asked, fitting the wire beneath Elena's maternity blouse. "If Reeves or your husband suspects anything, this goes sideways fast." "I understand." Elena's hands were steady now, steady with purpose. They were parked 2 blocks from Reeves's clinic. 3 unmarked cars surrounded them, agents checking weapons and earpieces. Vivian had spent 4 hours the night before giving her statement, laying out the entire operation. It was enough for a warrant. Barely. "We need a confession on tape," Chen reminded her. "Get him to talk about the other women, about the plan for you." Elena nodded and stepped out of the car. Her appointment was at 2 p.m. She was right on time. The clinic looked innocent enough, a converted Victorian house with a small parking lot. Daniel's car was already there. So was Dr. Reeves's Mercedes. Elena's heart hammered as she walked through the door. The receptionist smiled. "Mrs. Bourne, right this way. Dr. Reeves is ready for you." But it wasn't the exam room she was led to. It was Reeves's private office. Daniel sat behind the desk like he owned it. Dr. Reeves stood by the window, tall, silver-haired, looking more like a senator than a murderer. "Elena?" Daniel's voice was cold. "So glad you could make it." "Where's the exam?" Her voice didn't shake. "There is no exam." Daniel stood, circling around the desk. "Did you really think I wouldn't know about your little meeting with Vivian? The burner phone? The FBI?" Elena's blood froze. "He knows." "Vivian called me last night," Daniel continued. "Told me everything, about your plan, your wire." He moved closer. "See, Vivian's smarter than you. She knows which side wins." No, Elena's mind raced. Vivian had betrayed her. Reeves pulled out a syringe. "This will be quick, painless even. We'll say you had a seizure. Eclampsia, very tragic." Elena backed toward the door, but it opened before she could reach it. Vivian stood there, and behind her, Agent Chen with her gun drawn. "FBI! Hands where I can see them!" Elena nearly collapsed with relief. It was a setup. Vivian's call was part of the plan. Daniel lunged for Elena, but she was faster. 9 years of submission had taught her exactly where he was weakest. She brought her knee up hard, and he crumpled. Agents flooded the room. Reeves dropped the syringe, hands raised. Chen kicked it away, reading them their rights. "You okay?" Vivian appeared at Elena's side, steadying her. "You called him, told him we were coming." "Had to make him confident, make him confess." Vivian smiled grimly. "He did, every word recorded." Chen held up a laptop recovered from Reeves's desk. "Files on all 15 women, bank transfers, everything." Daniel looked up from the floor, his face twisted with rage. "You stupid bitch! You have nothing without me? No money, no life." "I have our daughter," Elena said quietly. "And that's everything." She walked out of that clinic with her head high, leaving her husband in handcuffs behind her. 6 months later, Elena stood in the nursery of her new apartment, sunlight streaming through windows she'd chosen herself. The walls were painted soft yellow. Hope, she'd decided, should be a color. Her daughter, Lily Grace, slept peacefully in the crib. 3 months old, with her mother's dark eyes and a personality that already showed signs of fierce independence. "She's beautiful," Vivian said from the doorway, holding 2 cups of tea. Elena smiled, accepting the cup. "Thank you for everything." The trial had been swift. Daniel and Dr. Reeves were each sentenced to 25 years to life. The evidence had been overwhelming. 15 women found alive, their testimonies damning. The babies, now toddlers and children, were reunited with their mothers. Vivian had received immunity for her cooperation. She'd quit her corporate job and now volunteered at a women's shelter, helping others escape dangerous situations. "I got the final divorce papers yesterday," Elena said, settling into the rocking chair. "It's officially over." "How do you feel?" "Free." And she meant it. The settlement had been generous. The courts had seized Daniel's assets, and Elena had received enough to start over. She'd enrolled in college, finally pursuing the art degree she'd abandoned when she got married. "I keep thinking about who I was a year ago, so scared. So small." "You were never small. You just hadn't been tested yet." A knock at the door interrupted them. Elena opened it to find her mother, arms loaded with groceries and gifts. "I brought dinner," her mom announced, bustling in, "and more clothes for Lily because I couldn't help myself." The apartment filled with warmth and laughter, the kind Elena had forgotten existed. Her mother cooked while Vivian set the table, and Elena held Lily close, breathing in that perfect baby scent. Later, after her mother left and Vivian headed home, Elena stood at the window with Lily in her arms. The city stretched out before them, lights twinkling like possibilities. "You know what, baby girl?" Elena whispered. "Your daddy thought he could break me, thought I was just some weak woman he could use and discard." She kissed Lily's forehead. "But he gave me the greatest gift. He showed me exactly who I never want to be, and he gave me you." Lily's tiny hand wrapped around Elena's finger, holding tight. "We're going to be okay," Elena promised. "More than okay. We're going to be extraordinary." Her phone buzzed. A text from the support group she'd started for the other survivors. They met twice a month. 15 women who'd been through hell and come out the other side. "Next meeting Thursday. Sarah's bringing her twins. Can't wait to see you and Lily." Elena smiled and typed back, "We'll be there." She looked down at her daughter, at this perfect little human who would grow up knowing her mother was strong, would grow up knowing that love wasn't supposed to hurt, that trust wasn't supposed to trap you, that sometimes the person who saves you is yourself. And that was the happiest ending of all.